welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors. I'm your host, and tonight I got a very special guest, professional wrestler, Brandon Langley.
What's going on, brother? How you
doing, man?
Doing
nice
good,
to have
man.
you here.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for coming on, really.
Thank you. I
No
appreciate
problem.
it.
And we had a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's just dive right in.
I know, right?
Actually, you know something? Before that, Boston Bruins playing Game 7
It's a panic attack for
Wednesday
me.
night for the Stanley Cup.
Oh, I want them to win. It's like a panic attack for me.
I'm a huge Bruins fan. And also, Big Papi was shot last night, but luckily, I guess he's in stable condition.
Yeah.
The Red Sox have sent a plane to Dominican Republic to bring him back to Boston, where the best doctors are. So
Good. I mean, he deserves it.
exactly. Hope you feel better soon, Papi. I loved Papi, man.
Oh,
Who
man.
doesn't, right?
No. Oh my God.
All right, Brandon, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Lynn, Mass, man.
Lynn, the city of sin.
Now everyone says that for
You
some
never-
reason.
yeah.
It's like
There's more to it.
there is. Like when I grew up in like the time in Lynn, I grew up in the Highlands.
Yeah.
And the Highlands was like everyone knew each other.
Yeah.
So my mom used to work at a corner store called Kids Market, and I always remember it when I was like young. I had like a Too Cool shirt because I was for some reason I love Too Cool when they just randomly just dance. Go down the street, get a sub, Big Burst for like $2. I was like the fat kid in Dreamland. Everyone knew each other. Until this day, everyone knew each other, and that's the best part about Lynn. It's people who have that riffraff that will get you into sense, and it sounds like a very bad way to say it about Lynn, but it's more family is just nitty gritty. If you get what I'm saying.
I think it's more. Yeah, I think Lowell is probably the same. Not sure I got
Yeah,
from Lowell. You know,
Lowell,
honestly, Lowell, Lynn, Lawrence, they're very similar cities. They are.
They
no doubt.
are. It's like, oh, Lowell's better, Lynn's better. I'm like,
Hey, man, they're all right.
oh, of course.
They're all right.
We got our specials. We got the roast beef through age. You can try
There you go.
the roast
Nice.
beef.
All right. So, when did you first see pro wrestling?
I first saw pro wrestling, I'll never forget, it was in Lynn. It was at the Armory on the Commons, and it was with my best friend and another friend who went to, I think it was Big Time.
Okay.
And I'll never forget
Do you remember how many years ago that was?
It was before I went to college, so it was like 2004, 2005. And I'll never forget the match. It was Samoa Joe, Jay Lethal, Abyss, and some local guy. And it was like a steel cage match, and Abyss got bodied into a table.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe threw the table at me accidentally, and I scraped my knee and kicked. I was like geeking out because I was like, yeah, we can.
Right.
I think I still have the scar. And he's like, hey kid, just wiped my blood on a thing and just signed his name.
Nice.
I had it till I still had that autograph till I recently got into a fire.
So who signed it, Joe or Abyss?
Both.
Both.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was Abyss's
Joe's
blood.
a great guy, man.
Fantastic for a big guy. I always want to look at that because I'm a big guy.
Right.
Kind of slowed down a little bit.
But you're a tall guy. You're a big guy.
I'm like 6'3", like 260s. But I was like starting wrestling. I was like 315.
Oh wait, really?
Oh yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, they used to.
Okay.
Yeah, Fat Dino was a thing, and I loved every minute of it. But I had to lose weight because of my health.
Yeah.
And I love the way I'm looking now and the positive feedback.
Right.
And stuff like that. So.
No, you look great, seriously, when you come into the ring with the jacket and everything.
Oh, yeah,
Seriously.
that jacket-
I saw you recently in Malden, man.
Yeah.
It was a good look.
Yeah, it was
Good look
a
for
great show. I loved that show.
Yeah.
That was the Bell Time show.
Yeah,
It was,
Dante.
Dante
Right, he's done two of them down there, promoted two of them, right?
He's done
Him
two.
and Bo?
Him and Bo, yeah.
Yeah.
And
They've both been successful.
fantastic. And
Yeah.
I'm so happy for them.
Yeah.
And they need it.
Great guys.
They're fantastic. Bo is like a father figure to me.
Yeah,
when it
I've
comes
known
to
Bo
wrestling.
since probably when he first started wrestling. Honestly, he's so awesome.
That's how I started wrestling too. It was my father. I have a story for that. It was funny, but it's like
Well, when you were younger, were your friends and your family into it too?
Didn't realize my grandfather, who was a state of police in Boston, who was a K-9 unit cop, used to do boxing and used to do a lot of like circuits with wrestling in the circus. And I never knew that until I like moved in. He was like, what's this? Like, yeah, I used to do a lot of wrestling. Like back when like Hogan was doing like his little tours and stuff like that, and like Junkyard Dog, and I was geeking out, like, you know, like I would never expect this from you.
Right.
My mom was a model for like back in the '90s. She was a model for plus size plus size. So it was
Yep.
like the first thing. So I have like that entertainment thing going on with my life.
Right, in your family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for some reason, like,
Yeah.
oh, you did this. I'm like, all right, cool.
Were you like the class clown in school kind of too?
I
'Cause
was,
I know I was.
I was definitely, it was like a kind of a mix. It was like an Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
I was the class clown and the nerd and the quiet one at the same time.
Right.
I was the class clown because I really didn't care what I did. Like, I would play Pokemon and I'll be the biggest guy there. Like, oh, I want Charizard. I'm like, give me that. I used to be that guy. And like, what, do something in class. I'm like, I am. I'm battling and I don't even care.
Right. Did you go, besides the show that you saw at Big Time, did you go to any other indie shows?
I did. I went to, there was a backyard show up in Lynn. It was like probably like one of those, like, I hate to say yarders, but it was like, that's where it was.
Right.
But it was a bunch of hardcore kids, and I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. But I was like, I'm not going to do it. Then it was UFO.
Okay, nice. Mr. Pat Dillon, a good friend of ours.
Oh, he's a
here
great
at the Ring
dude.
and All Other
Great
Sports.
dude.
Love Pat.
Oh man, he's like the uncle.
Yeah.
For me.
That's
So,
good.
Pat. Then I think I saw MFW.
Dan Marati's
Yeah.
MFW over in, where'd you go?
I
Was
went
that Everett or Malden? Or where was that?
I went to the one in
Medford?
Melrose.
Oh,
So it
Melrose.
was
That's
back-
right, Melrose.
It was back in the day.
Yes,
I went
yes.
to two of them. Then
He always had good wrestlers on that show,
good wrestlers,
too.
but really like it was great wrestlers.
Yeah.
I was sitting
No,
like,
I hear ya.
and it was mind-boggling how you see how many great wrestlers in there, and there was not a lot of crowds. And I was
Right.
this is.
And you're right about that, though. I should have said great because, I mean, he was booking Jay Lethal, Homicide, a lot, plus the great locals around here, too.
They-
Tommaso, Warbeard.
Oh my God.
So everybody. That's no knock if I didn't say your name because he was booking everybody.
He was booking
Low
everyone.
key.
It was just a crowd.
Yeah.
But it was
Slick.
like Bo. Like
Yeah,
it was
Bo was
Jay,
there all
like
the
Jay,
time, too.
like Jason Rumble.
Yep.
I mean, like without
Hey, for sure.
those two, like I
Well,
wouldn't.
we're
be
going to
here.
get to those guys in a minute. Let's finish this up because I definitely want to get
I'm
to
getting
those
antsy and
guys.
Stuff.
That's all right.
It's
I know.
ADHD and stuff.
When did you know that you wanted to be a wrestler? Did you know that really young, or were you a little bit maybe an adult already?
I was a teenager.
Okay.
And I was talking to one of my best friends, Mike Zab, who passed away probably 10 years, like going on 10 years ago. He's like, "You love wrestling," and I'm like, "I do." And like, but I was getting a scholarship going football.
Right.
And he's like, "Why don't you just do it after?" And I'm like, "Huh." So I did it after, and I started falling in love with it. So senior year, so when my football team was watching films, I was watching like No Mercy and Armageddon.
Right.
In the background of my my flip phone, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I messed up on that play." I'm just stop looking at
Right.
that one. But I fell in love with it when I really fell in love with it when everyone was equal.
Yeah.
And when it comes to football and wrestling, football is more aggressive and like, oh, we lost, we're gonna punch something.
Right.
Wrestling, like, I'm just here to entertain.
Right.
I'm here to make the next generation of wrestlers like the kids who wants to be like me, like I did with Jay Lethal and Bo and Jay and Slick
Right.
and Fuller and like all them. I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Nice. Excellent. Who trained you?
This is like a weird
All right.
mixture how it's gonna happen.
I'm looking forward to the answer.
So I started doing shows with Todd Graham.
Okay.
And
Proving ground.
It was a proving ground. It was Project Zero Wrestling with him and Adam Nessel. So I know him, Spencer, and all them.
Right.
Blackheart he was renting a where's that area? Off of 146 near like Woonsocket. It was like a little shack, but it was like a
Bellingham?
No, next to it.
All right.
So I think it was Woonsocket. And I was looking at a mill, and Blackheart saw me. He's like, "Where do you live?" And I'm like, "I live in Lynn, but I was in Worcester area for college." He was like,
Right.
"Okay, go to RWA. Jose Perez
Yep.
does a little training thing a couple of days a week." So I'm like, "All right, cool." I went there. Then I saw JT Dunn, then like Frank Champion, if you remember him.
Yeah, I remember Frank. Big Frank.
Yeah, he was, and those two actually clicked. Then Jose was like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "Lynn." He's like, "Go talk to Jason Rumble." And I'm like, "All right." So I go up in Everett, back on Ferry Street.
Yep.
Go up this
Behind the
stairs.
7-Eleven?
behind 7-Eleven.
I remember that one.
That was the best place ever.
Yep.
It was a win-win. It was a win-win.
Right.
Like you were tired, you were hungry. The 7-Eleven was open 24 hours. The only thing that sucked about that place is like doing the ring crew and you have to chug
Yeah.
all that stuff
Oh, yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So the first time I met Jason, he looked at me. I looked at him. He was like, "You're gonna be my trainer?" He's like, "Yeah, kid, I'm gonna be your trainer." And I'm like, "Awesome." He sound like the dude from Rocky, even better. He's like, "You have talent, kid." I'm like, "Thanks, man. No one ever told me that."
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was
Jason was a football player too.
He was a football, baseball. He
Yeah.
was everything.
Yep.
And he had like the ADHD kicked in. Like you remind me of me. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't know why I keep on doing the Jason Rumble voice, but everyone knows.
That's all right. Everybody
Everyone
does
has
it.
to do the Jason Rumble.
Of course I do, kid.
Well, can I be honest with you? But he pulled me aside. He's like, I want to train you. And I was like, all right, how much is it? He's like, don't worry about it. Just take care. Just do clean up and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I paid him too. So I did all that stuff, and he took me under his wing. Then with him, it was the mentor I had was Matty Almeida,
Yep.
Ryan Matthews, DC Dillinger.
Nice.
I'm forever grateful for
Right.
him because he he called me dopey, and I loved every second of it. Like he would talk to me about wrestling and think how it mechanically worked.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden he would say
So knowledgeable about
so
the
knowledgeable
sport.
about wrestling. All of
Yeah.
a sudden he'll flip. He was like, you know what's a real? He's like, I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this till the day I die. He's like, hey, you know what's a real man's show? I was like, what? Rifleman. I was like, done.
Chuck Connors, man. Of course, the rifleman.
we used to do wrestling shows like up at VCW and like come to my house. I'm like, all right, cool, and watch Rifleman and Buffalo Bills football reels.
Were you ever at his Christmas parties?
Oh man, yeah. The cash.
That was his thing, huh?
He was like,
man?
"You're coming." Oh,
that was
man.
his thing. Everybody says it, man. Was Christmas was
Christmas
huge to
it
Dave.
It was huge, and if you treated him kindly, you have to have he has a rough side with him, but
Right.
he's so genuine.
right,
And I'm actually tearing up even talking about him because I miss him so much.
right.
And
A lot of people do.
I don't know. I mean, he's just passed away out of the blue.
Right.
I mean, wow. But he was so. The last match I saw him is with. It was a seminar.
Okay.
It was with Devon Dudley, and it was him and Brian Fury.
Right.
They did nothing. You know how everyone has those high splines, but it was the most fundamental, basic match, and I was on my seat like this because they were so.
They were telling a story,
They were
man.
telling a story.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I loved every moment of it. And he was a big dude too. But
Right.
he used his height for his advantage.
Right.
And back then, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you're big. You can't do high flying stuff." I'm actually pretty athletic.
Right.
the gut doesn't show, but I'm actually athletic and I can do stuff. And Bo was like, "Do a springboard." I was like, "All right." It was actually a screw up. He was like, "All right, you're gonna do like the Sheamus shoulder tackle." I'm like, "All right, cool." I didn't register. I'm like Sheamus. I'm like, "All right, what does he do?" He does this thing, but I did jump over springboard and I jumped. It was at the big time in Carolina.
Okay.
And I just did it. And I was
Right.
like, huh. So I kept on doing it for the longest time. And now I just want to keep on doing more areas. I want to do
Yeah,
more
yeah.
things. And I don't want to be that stigma of like, oh, you're just a big guy. You got to do big moves. I want to do big, high. I want to do everything.
Right. Well, I got to ask you, seeing that you brought up how you worked for Big Time in Carolina, did you make a lot of those trips? And if you did, who were you traveling down there with?
I was, I made most of them when I started going down before my accident. I was traveling with Paul Glantz, the camera guy.
Yep.
Benny Jokes, Bo, and me.
Nice.
It was like a different surreal thing
Yeah.
when you're on the road.
Right.
It's like real life is over here in the States. When you pass, like when you hit that highway,
Yep.
it's gone.
Yep.
And it's like everything happens for a reason and you're just making memories. And I loved every moment of it.
That's awesome.
Like I still do that till this day. Like I'll even do shows like traveling. Like I'm doing a show in Nova Scotia with VCW and a bunch of other things with Jason.
Jason, yeah,
at
yeah.
the end of the month. Then I'm going to Michigan with Rob Marsh
Nice.
and all them. So I'm excited and I want to keep on going.
Yep.
But it's like the car thing. It's like,
No, I hear you.
Or
But like
driving,
you said, though,
past New York, you're like, oh,
you're
40
making
bucks.
memories, though. You know?
Exactly. And that's what my mom told me. Like, you're making memories, and that's all that
Exactly.
matters. And I love every moment of it.
Before I ask you about your first match, I have to ask you because he was brought up earlier. I'd like you to talk to me about Mike Zaba and how much he inspired you to be a wrestler.
Mike,
Please.
he was my best friend.
That's from Adam Nestle, too, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I thank him for that one. Mike was like an inspirational, not even in wrestling, but in real life.
Right.
He was the only friend that actually pulled me aside. Like I said, I have a severe learning disability,
Yep.
so it helps me like to struggle with reading. And he used to pull me aside and be like, and pick video games. That's why I went to school for video game design. He'll get video games like Final Fantasy VII and be like, read this paragraph. So back then you couldn't cheat.
Right.
If you got that weapon, we all knew you cheated.
Right.
There was no like YouTube or like Game Facts. It was just you had to learn from people who were word of mouth, from playing it and reading the story.
Yeah.
I fell in love with doing that, and realized I was a visual person, and he showed me how to be a kind-hearted person at the same time.
Right.
When he passed, I was a mess.
Yeah.
I was a complete mess. I was in my bed for like 2.5 weeks. It was a mess. Then I realized in his brother and sister, he's like, you guys, one thing was wrestling. And I'm like, all right. And him and my uncle named me Brandino.
Okay. Brandito Davis.
No, just Brandino.
No, just Brandito. Okay.
Brandino. And because I love the Flintstones.
Yep.
And everyone reminded me of Dino from the Flintstones. And when I told Jay that, he's like, kid, that's the most stupidest name I've ever heard in my life. But I can't get it out of my goddamn head. I was like, good, that's what I'm trying to do. So the Davis was actually T Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was like, all right, I love your name, but it's just one word. You got to just change it. How about, what's your middle name? I'm like, Douglas. I'm like, that's stupid. I'm not going to say Brandino Douglas. How about Brandino Davis? I'm like, good ring to it.
Yeah.
So that's how Brandino.
That's how you got the name. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Now, how about tell us about your first match that you ever had? Was it a battle royal?
It's gonna be a battle royal.
Everyone's
It was gonna be a battle royal. It was UFO actually.
Yeah.
And it was Pat Dillon.
Was it the Turkey Bowl Rumble?
It was.
It was.
And that's how I met Bo.
Nice.
Because it's actually a funny story. It's actually when I was like, wow, this is really happening. First time I actually was being a security guard. And there's a picture of me on my Facebook of me like standing right next to Tony D'Alfonso.
Okay.
Pat's like, hey kid, how long have you been training? I was like, I don't know, like 2 months. Can you jump over the top rope? Like, yep. Get your gear. I was like, all right. I'm putting my gear on mismatch. I don't even know who I am. I was gonna be a nerd.
Yeah.
Which because it's me, but I was like, I don't know who I am. So there was this. After I met Battle Royal, there was a match against Bo and Jay, and Robbie and his old tag partner. I forgot his name.
Robbie E. Billy Bax.
I think.
For the Valedictorians.
I think so.
Okay. That was a hell of a tag team.
Yeah, he was a little bit taller than him, and there was an altercation with something happened. I think his ego was like going something. He was supposed to do like something and didn't backfire. Being offered a Bo, which everyone knows. Just you're gonna lose that battle. Just don't do it. I'm watching him, and I'll never forget this. Remember Star Wars, and you hear that dude? It's a trap. So imagine JT Dunn, and he was with Vernon Somoza, running out of the backstage. It's a shoot! We're like, what? We're freaking out, and you just see Bo just choking him out. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm sitting there like, what happened? He was like, well, didn't listen. I was like, oh, well. Do you want my? And I was like, oh, that stinks. I'm not gonna piss you off. Do you want some of my Chinese food? And he's like, it's cold. And he just smacked it because it was so bad. But that's how I met Bo, and it was like the funniest story ever. Like he's like a father figure to me. So
Right. All right, we're gonna jump into the fan questions. We already asked about your friend that passed away, Mike Zaba.
Mm-hmm.
David Baker says thank you. Big Bear Matooch says ask him about the rides with Bo and Benny. Maybe you could share a PG version story.
Mostly PG. The tour I was going to Altoona, I was
Pennsylvania.
Broke. Yeah, Pennsylvania. I was broke, and everyone was like, "Let's go to the casino." I'm like, I had like $10 in my name.
Right.
So I was like, all right, cool. I'll go. I'll just grab a drink. So you always sit there pretending you're in a
Right,
slot
right.
machine, you get a free drink. Like, haha, sucker. So that's what I did. So I'm like, she's like, you can get a free $10 thing. I'm like, all right, I'll go. Grab it, $10. Hit the Iron Man machine because it was flashy.
Yep.
For some reason, it was just flashy. Won like $250. I was like,
Nice.
so I took care of the boys. Took care of the boys, got them food and all that stuff. Because it's how the way is. Like, if you have money, you have that. They'll take care of you. If you have money, you take care of them. That's just the way of the road. It's like,
Right.
you just got to take care of each other. Because it's only you in the car.
Right. All right. Jason Stewart says, where do you think you might be today if you hadn't taken all that time off? So when you started, you said when you were in college.
I started when I was in college. I got hurt when I won the VCW LimeWire Championship
Okay.
against Jason Rumble 3 days after.
Now, who'd you beat for the title? Jason?
Yes.
Okay.
I got into a massive car accident.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got into a car accident. Some girl hit me from the back going 60 on Summit Street in Peabody.
That just happened to me a few months ago. Seriously.
Bang. And my neck jacked. I had like 4 herniated discs. I was out for like a year. Then I was gone for like two and a half years. And I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't, but I had life. Then my mom got cancer.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I got to take care of my mom. Like, she asked me, she was my inspiration. I got to do, she
Right.
did that for me. I got to
Yeah.
do the exact same for her.
Absolutely.
Then I got to do another accident.
Jesus.
When I was going,
I'm not getting in a car with you.
I don't want you to get in the car with me. Like, I'm afraid if you're going to take in my car. Like,
Right.
But
So what
that's
happened on this one?
I got. Some guy was on Snapchat, hit T-boned me, the 3 herniated disc, and I was out for like 5 months. But that one was pretty worse because I was out 5 months. Physical therapy, lost a lot of weight, depression, and I had to take care of
So
my
you're
mom.
talking around 3 years you were out. Something like
I'll
that.
say, yeah, 3 years.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kicked myself every single day because that was the only time I was happy. And the realization was with Adam Santos, the promoter for Nova.
Yep.
We usually like been friends since we were like 12, Papa Juan and everything. His mom and again knew everyone, and
Yep.
Sammy, he lived in Lynn. We was driving to Baltimore for like the Baltimore, I think the Ravens and the Texans.
Okay.
Because he's like, oh, I have extra chicken, we'll just drive, I'll pay for everything. I'm like, all right, whatever. Meet my
Yep.
grandfather and stuff like that. He's like, you look miserable. I was like, I don't know, life. He was like, you were happy when you were wrestling. Like, yeah, the headache was in wrestling, but you were most happy when you was in wrestling. And it took me like a 10-hour drive just to realize I'm like, I need to go back.
Yep.
And I just was back on the grind ever since.
Nice. Excellent. Anthony Mark Balkus wants to know, who have you not wrestled that you'd really like to get into the ring with that's around here? Let's keep it local.
All right, name me a few.
Well, I mean, Christian Casanova. I mean,
I would love
you
to work
must
him.
know some of the talent around here. Who would you like to
love
work with?
work Christian Casanova.
Yep.
Tatum Thomas. I would love to work Alec again.
Yep.
I worked Mike McCarthy. I would work him again because he's a phenomenal worker,
Yes.
and he's like the most underrated person ever. Even
He's awesome.
he's a humble dude. And I love every moment of it.
Right.
Sean Leader, because his weirdness will probably, I want that.
Yep.
Who else? Who else? I want to work Demon Ortiz,
Yep.
Slick,
Yep.
and just want to work.
Right.
You know, I don't mind anything because there's going to be pros and cons of every match.
Right.
It's like that's the only thing that I took football with. I watch film, so I watch matches and what
Yeah.
they do, because I'm like, oh, what do you do? And you're like I'm like, so but if I watch, I'm like, I get what you're saying, so you just have to guide me.
Right.
So his name was, I would work anyone in the New England area or New York or anywhere else.
Are there any companies that you want to work that you haven't yet?
Limitless.
Yep.
I've been doing Let's Wrestle. Just gotta get better at that. I really don't know, to be honest with you. I was just, if they want me with open arms, I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm one of those dudes of like, I'm like, ugh. You know
All
what
right.
I mean?
Well, I talked to you off air about this. I was at one of the Bell Time shows, and I was looking at your profile picture.
Yeah.
And there's a guy in the background. I had totally forgot. He sang your entrance when
Yeah,
I
the
was there.
son of Big Pun.
What's the name of the song, and who's the guy?
His name is, it's the top of my head. He is the son of Big Pun. And I'm so sorry if I'm getting your name. It's just a blank, and we can Google it. And but he was the most chillest dude. Like I was looking at your thing. He's like, I was looking at your thing. I like what you do. I'm like, thanks, man. And I was kind of starstruck. I was like, oh man, thank you. I know I'm saying starstruck. I don't even know. I forgot the guy's name because I'm just terrible with names. Riviera, that's his last name.
All right.
His star and stuff like that. They're New York rappers, and they've been doing pretty good in YouTube and stuff like that, and Oscar nominated and stuff like that. I was very surprised about that. That threw me off out of the blue. I was legit walking in there. I was like, "Who am I working?" He's like, "Oh, you got a special singer." I'm like,
Nice. So that was all Dante and Bo hooked you
"Yeah,
up
that
with
was
that?
Dante and Bo," and I appreciate everything. Like they got the crowd going up, and that's what I really want. I want
Right.
the crowd to remember me, and I want the crowd to remember the whole event. And I loved every minute of that match with me and Malonis. I loved every minute of it. It was simple. It was fun. And the crowd was like, to me, like, I don't have to, in my head, I'm like, you don't have to do flippy stuff to make the crowd go nuts.
Right.
Like, I did a shoulder tackle.
He's one of the best workers
He
in
is.
the area, man.
He is.
He really
and
is.
And for a
I'm
big guy,
huge Brian Malone fan.
and for a big guy, he is so fast. I was like, oh man,
Yeah, he's
I'm
great.
going like, you're blowing me up, man. I can't. And he's just big because he's been in like going on mainstream.
Absolutely.
And I'm so happy
Ring of
for him.
Honor, got a contract. I mean, he's at one half of the bounces. Absolutely. Got a great podcast I listen to all the time, too. Wrestling podcast about nothing. Let's jump into the name game. This name game, you can either, say something, tell a little story, say how you feel, whatever you want. First name, Derek Dukes, my old co-host.
Derek Dukes. Funny story. So I met him at VCW. I'm like, why does this guy look so familiar? He's like, hey, big, his big, massive cigar for some reason. He looks like Tony Montana, but just tiny. And he's sitting there like, hey, where you from? I was like, Lynn. He's like, what part? I was like, oh, only people from Lynn know this. I'm like, the Highlands. He's like, is your mother Holly? I was like, how do you know my mother's name? Like, did she have a best friend named Patty Green? I was like, oh, crap. He's like, good, because I used to change your diapers. I was like, all right, cool.
Way to go, Derek. Right. How about Todd Graham?
Todd Graham. I knew him when I first wrestled, and we hated each other.
Really?
We butted heads for no reason.
Now, is he from Lynn?
He's from Salem.
Salem. Okay.
Yeah, he's from Salem. We butted heads until, like, recently it was like, hey, why are we mad at each other? He was like, oh no.
Right.
We just squashed the whole thing, and now we've been good friends when we see each other.
Nice.
Like, I talked to him.
And you work for him sometimes at Proving Grounds?
Like sometimes. I want to do more shows. I actually want to work him, too, because it'll be like one of those like rivalry things. I just want to prove to him I'm the best.
What about Elk Mania? Have you ever worked for those guys?
No, they're the same people.
Nice guys.
They're not good guys. They just pick the local guys. I'm always busy.
Right.
So it's not really against me and them. It's just I'm always busy. I'm doing shows away and stuff like
All
that.
right. How about Big Bear Matooch?
Big Bear. Oh, man. He was the first. There was a wrestling show for students at the Bell Time up in Everett. And he sits there with me, Bare Knuckle Burley.
Chainsaw Charlie?
No, it wasn't Chainsaw Charlie. It was Dollar D.
Okay. Dino.
No, it wasn't Dino. It was
Somebody else was playing
No,
Dollar.
because Dino did not want to do it. it was Joe Mullet.
Okay.
It was Joe Mullet and Dan Terry and Tim Lennox. We first blew in. And Bear's like, hey, you know how he like just walks. He's like, I'm gonna do a suicide dive. We all looked at each other like, what?
Right.
Like, do as you told. I'm like, well, Jim's like, oh, I'm sorry, kid. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm like, oh man. We're standing there doing it. He's like, all right, we're gonna do a suicide dive. Now, mind you, the Bell Time Everett had a door.
Right.
That goes to nowhere. It was open. So he did it. So I'm going over here. He hits me. I stumble. I slip on a wire. I grab the doors. I'm like, oh, all right, this is what wrestling's gonna be like.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big man with a chance to do anything for you.
How about Dante Luna?
He is going to take most kind-hearted man have you ever met in your heart. Like he will give his shirt to you. He gave me ideas about like taking pictures because I stink at taking pictures and stuff like that. And he's just like really humble, very cool. He brings all his families to shows. We all hug his families. Like we even like all the wrestlers like his stuff with his documentaries because he's going everywhere.
Right. Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like 48.
Everyone's going to know his name
Oh, of
someday.
course.
I guarantee it.
Oh, of course.
I
It was
guarantee
funny.
it.
It was funny. There was a rapper named Gino, and he was like, "Oh, you know this dude named Dante?" I was like, "Yeah, he's a really good dude." He's like, "Oh, I love him." And I'm like, "Dude, he's really good." And he was just sitting
He's
there
going
like,
to be famous someday.
he's already famous.
Yeah.
He's an underground famous person in Massachusetts, and with Bo and him have that chemistry together with the Belltime Club, it's skyrocketed.
Nice.
Like who would thunk that we would have wrestling at Fenway?
Right. Exactly.
For going on 4 years in a row.
Exactly.
And I get the honor to be in it, so I'm actually excited.
Nice.
So,
All right. Seeing, how about Mr. Pat Dillon?
Pat will always tell you the truth.
Yep.
He will tell you the truth, and he'll say, "Let me tell you something," and you know he's gonna tell you straight truth, and it's either gonna like it or he's gonna be like, "Oh, Pat," but he's a great dude.
Love Pat.
I love Pat too.
Paul Richard, he spent some time down the Belltime Club,
Paul
right?
Richard
The Extreme Enforcer.
loves his liver and onions.
Loves his liver and onions?
Loves his liver and onions.
All
I'll
right.
never get into
I did not know that about him.
There was a time. There was a day that it was me, Bo, Timmy Thunder, and Paul Richard. We went to New Extreme Wrestling up in Nantucket. It was my first time going there, and I was working Bo. And we went to that diner.
Working for Troop.
Yeah, working for Troop.
Yep.
The great guy.
Absolutely.
He looks like the dude from what's that guy? Kevin James. Just a Bostonian version. But
Right.
Great guy. Did a show. We went to that diner up in Providence,
Okay.
that 24-hour diner, and you hear Paul Richards, "Oh, you know what I can go for, brother? Liver and onions, extra onions." And I'm like, "It's summer."
Right.
He's like, "I don't care, brother. It's so good for you." Well, I'm like, "Paul, you're the Extreme Force. That's why they call you that."
Wow.
He is a great dude.
Yeah, absolutely. How about one of Todd's good friends, and I think yours too, Adam Nestle.
Nestle?
Nestle. Yeah, Nestle. He told
Great
me that
guy.
too. It's spelled like Nestle,
But it's Nestle.
Nestle. Sorry,
Yeah,
Adam.
yeah. I met him when I met Todd, and he was like the good cop, bad cop. So
Yeah.
Todd was like the bad. Me and him were arguing. Like he'll be the bad cop, and,
Yep.
and Adam would be the good cop. Like, nah, it's just him. Don't worry about it. And I got a good connection with him and his brother, and his
Right.
brother, and him and Todd actually. His brother Kenny and Todd has a band, and they're doing pretty good over there. That's like what they're doing around the area.
Nice.
So Adam's a good dude, great producer, funny guy,
Cool.
funny little guy.
How about Mr. John Cena Sr.?
I have a story for that one.
All right.
This is a good one.
Let's do it.
So I was at Big Time in Gloucester, and there's a cop. I forgot his name, Sergeant Duffy or something like that, and he does like shows up in Gloucester. And I had the opportunity to work him. And John Cena Sr. was like, "Are you with me, kid? What would you do?" Because he's a cop. And I have to pull the black card. He's like, "You're a black kid fighting a cop in the middle of like Gloucester," which is like a very, how do I say it, fisherman town.
Okay.
And so everyone know each other. So Gloucester and Lynn English had a rivalry when I was playing football. We couldn't beat them for like 12 years until my senior year.
Right.
So it was on Mac Heat. So I was like, "Oh, perfect. I wear my jacket. He's a cop. The worst mistake you ever do is eat a donut walking in door in like the entrance." You're like, "You should just do it." I'm just eating powdered donuts. I'm like, "This is the worst mistake ever.
Right.
Why am I doing this?" But powdered lips, like I was just been eating like nothing but powdered donuts for like 2.5 hours. But great guy, funny, And there's another story at a big time show. He took me out to dinner for my birthday. It was at Carloon's, and this was like the best. It was like the best round circle ever. It was me, Two Cold Scorpio, Danny Miles, Benny Jokes, Bam Shaw, Sabu,
Yep.
Mickey James, John Cena Sr.'s minister at the time round table. That's the best joke you can ever say. And it was the best time I've ever had. He
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's your birthday? It's just, oh, eat. I'm like, I just wanted D3, which is a General Carlson, like, crab and grooves, and I've been happy. I've been good.
Right.
But they treated me like gold, and I appreciate everything they did.
Nice. How about Brickhouse Baker?
Brickhouse Baker is like the uncle that everyone wants to hang out with. I love Brickhouse Baker.
Nice.
He has that, and he has almost 20, 25 years of experience. So if you're a person who's trained or does the business who hasn't been trained yet, he'll give the time if you respect him. He'll give you the time and the effort that you are giving him
Right.
to you. So I appreciate everything he's done for me, and
Right.
he's just humble.
Nice.
He'll beat the piss out of you, but
Right.
he's humble, and I love him. He's like one of like an uncle. He's like Uncle Baker.
Nice. I happened to see him this weekend, Friday night, at the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame ceremony.
Yeah, I wish-
Big Woody went in.
Good.
And Widow Belmont. And
She's such a
I want
great
to say
worker.
congratulations to everyone that went into the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame over the weekend. Joe Bruin puts on an unbelievable event. The Fan Fest the next day was just phenomenal.
Yeah, I wish I went. My mom was sick, so I was like, I had to take care of
Yeah,
that.
I hear you.
I wanted to go. I was like,
Right. Sam, we talked about Brickhouse, and David Baker already said something to you. How about the Baker boys? But you could bring something up about Devin if you want.
I worked Devin for like
Okay.
for like one of those
House of Brick shows?
no, it wasn't House of Brick. It was Fight for it's called WTF.
Okay.
It's for like one of the promoters for like the Chop Shop does it.
Okay.
And me here was like, all right, I'm gonna chop you. And you know how Devin like just chops you. And it's just
Right.
brutal. I'm like, yeah, whatever, but I'm just gonna lay it in. And we beat the piss out of each other, and we hugged each other after. It was like, do we owe each other money?
Wow.
But it was just so hard hitting, and I loved every minute of it.
Nice.
So that's probably why.
How about Ike?
Ike is amazing. He's a sleeper. Ike, a lot of people don't know he's a martial artist. He can grapple for
Oh,
real.
nice.
So
I did not know that.
yeah, he's a one of those dudes that you should keep one eye open. But
Right.
he's a humble, great
Yep.
guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he seems like a great guy.
Yeah.
How about the Hoods? Davey
him.
Cash, Chris Pyro.
Love him.
Favorite of mine.
Love 'em.
Like those guys.
I usually make bets to see if not Pyro, but the other one,
Davey Cash.
Cash will be like, what's the bet? How much he's gonna swear? We will put like money on the corner and like we'll say 5.
Just 5?
Oh no, just per person. Just per person. So there's like 20 guys. You're like, that's
Right.
a lot.
All right. How about I'm gonna go down to like the Brockton. Have you ever wrestled down that way? Brockton, Fall River.
I wrestled Fall River once a
Yeah.
couple times. I want to work Brockton.
How about Teddy Goods?
Great
Come
guy.
across with Teddy, especially big time, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
So
and Bell
used to-
Time.
Bell Time. He's just a great guy.
Great worker, man.
He's a phenomenal worker.
Yeah.
He is a
Got the look, everything.
He is a closet nerd, and I love
Is he
every-
really? Yeah.
You name anything about WWE or wrestling, he would pick out your nose.
The
He
comic books and
yeah,
stuff,
comic
too.
books. So
Yeah.
like his podcast is funny.
Right.
Like it's great.
Is he doing another one? Because I love the one he did with Biff. Was awesome.
He did one with they did like a Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, it was him and Biff.
Oh, it was Biff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so funny.
I used to listen to it all the time.
That was great.
It just wasn't out every week. That's
I
what
was
drove
mad
me
at- I was-
nuts because I loved it.
I was mad about like, why is it every? Like, God.
I gotta, something. I had to go back and re-listen to all the episodes because they're really awesome. All right, let's talk about some women in the area.
Good.
I actually saw this young lady over the weekend also. Isana.
She is a powerhouse. She is the kind of person, but she is a powerhouse, and whoever works her, she's gonna lay it into you.
Right.
She's gonna lay it into you. It's gonna be. I seen she like I seen a match. It was with remember 420 Kid?
Who? The 420 kid?
Yes.
No, I don't, unfortunately.
Okay, so he was doing a show for like a hardcore show, and it was with her, and she was like doing a spot, and the guy's like laying into her, and she clocked him so
Right.
hard, those busted shifted. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, she's gonna be going places.
Nice. How about Luscious Latasha?
Well, actually, Latasha's been around before I was.
Yep.
And
She sure has. She's been around a while.
she's great people. I we will laugh. She's just. I'm happy that the more mature women wrestlers are
Right.
bringing the new female wrestlers just to make sure that you won't have those riff-raffs and stuff like that,
Right.
which is awesome.
How about Widow Belmont?
Widow Belmont. Actually, my first away match was with her brother.
Wow, John Poe.
He as the first time I met him, I'm like, oh, he's gonna tear me apart. He's like, nicest guy you ever meet. Nicest guy.
Right.
He'd be like, what do you want to do? He's like, you want to do something stupid? I was like, depends what. He's like, give me a spine buster on the floor. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's
I was
like
like-
nuts.
But I love that man. But she had a rough start, and I felt bad for her, but she overcome it.
Yeah.
And I love what she's doing with it.
Nice. How about the Sea Stars? That'd be
They are.
You know they are.
Yeah, they are sleepers.
Yeah.
Like most of the women wrestlers are gonna be sleepers in New England,
Right.
and those two have been doing good. I seen one of the Sea Stars in Live Pro Wrestling, and it was really like entertaining match, and she can do it. And I even seen them tag teaming with Terry Von Vicious and Tomahawk.
Okay.
At the Let's Wrestle taping, and they were fine.
Nice.
I loved every minute of the matches because they're trying to entertain.
Right. How about the Platinum Honeys?
They're great because they have Anthony Green on
Yep.
them, and Anthony Green's even when I started, he was a ref. Then he started knowing everything.
Right.
Like I would pick, like for a young kid his age, I would pick the hell out of that kid's ear.
Oh, absolutely.
And for having Ava and Angel on their side,
Right.
you can see them strive. Like I had the opportunity to commentate Angel's match at Let's Wrestle, and it was great.
Right.
It was great. People would be like, "Oh, she can do that."
Oh yeah.
Ava's the same thing. I mean,
Right.
she's a petite woman, but she can lay it in,
Right.
and that's awesome. Like so is like Sierra. She's young,
Yep,
stupid young.
Sierra's very young.
She has.
I saw her Saturday night too.
and she has the world. All those girls have the world on their shoulders.
Right.
Like all of them.
How about a kid that I'm pretty impressed with right now, Channing Thomas?
Oh man, he is great. He's good. I want to work him.
I don't blame you.
I got hang out with him. I actually hang out with him. So I actually saw him earlier. He just came back from a tour.
Yeah, from England, over in England,
Yeah,
right? Overseas.
he loved it. Yeah, and I was like, I'm jealous, and he's only 21.
Yeah, kid's got a really bright future ahead of him. Really.
And I hope it goes more.
Right, me too.
Anyone in that list goes more. 'Cause
Right.
that's what we're trying to go for.
Yep. How about Lumberjake?
That's the first person I met in wrestling.
Seriously? Yeah.
Him and Paver.
Nice.
Him and, like the first show going, it was like UFO, and I was the first. Those two were the first people.
Right.
Well, like the first people I met in training was Tim Lennox, Dan Terry, Joey Rage, Joe Mullet, and there was a bunch of other reps.
Yeah.
But like compare like the Bell Time Club back then, it was like, remember Toys? Remember the land of misfit
yeah,
toys?
yeah.
That's what the Bell Time is, and it
Right.
was like the most humblest thing ever. And it's not the humblest, but very comfortable.
Right, right.
Because you're gonna meet people that's like not like every other wrestler.
Yeah.
Like, there's even people now like, or even like I would wrestle like nowadays. There's people far away doing like transgender wrestling, which is awesome, fantastic.
Right.
And it took us so long to do it. It should have been years ago. We should have been doing this, but now it's doing it, and now it's thriving. I watched it in Live Pro. They was doing it like a LGBTQ like
Yeah.
benefit show, and I had fun. It was
Nice.
entertaining, and that's what wrestling is,
And
entertaining.
was that show not too long ago, too?
It was like a year ago.
Okay, because I could have swore they just had
They did
another
another
show.
one. They did
Just
another one, but
recently.
the one I went, it was like a year ago.
Okay, yeah. All right. How about Vern Vicalo?
Vern. He is good. I like him. I like him a lot. I even
Nice.
travel with him. He's funny. He's a good dude. Um, the selfie thing is great.
Right. Do you know any of the older veterans besides people from down the Belltime Club? Joel, the real deal Davis. You know Joel?
It sounds to me. I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
So I have to see him.
All right. I saw him over the weekend too. How about Dan Terry?
Dan Terry.
We all love Dan Terry.
Dan Terry is a great worker.
Yeah.
He picks on himself to the cue. You're like, dude, stop. But he's just a great worker. I worked him so
Yes.
many times. I'm like, you have nothing to hide. You just like, it's every wrestler is worse than them. We want to critique ourselves, but we critique ourselves to the maximum. It's like we can't
Right.
build. And with Dan, he has it. He has the body. He has the physique. He has the mic skills. I wish I had. He's just a great dude. I was at his
Nice.
wedding.
Nice.
I was at his wedding, and it was great.
Just got married. Congratulations,
congrats,
Dan.
brother.
How about Big Bear's tag team partner who also used to tag with Ike, Bugsy Stone?
Bugsy Stone is a funny man. I never worked him.
No.
Never worked him.
Good guy.
He's a great guy. Great, funny guy. Like, he's just like one of those guys, like, you think of like, oh man, he's gonna punch me in the face. But once you talk to him, you're like, oh man, I love this guy. I want to hug him.
How about the Middlesex Express?
Oh man, they're great dudes.
Great team.
Great team. They're gonna go thriving. You just need to
Yep.
make it whole, but they're doing great.
They sure are.
They just worked Bob Evans in Tough Inc. like a couple months ago.
Oh, hit Tim Hughes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Alchemania, I think. Yeah.
Tim. Bob's been around a long time.
Oh yeah.
How about Tim Lennox?
He was my riding buddy. There was a time that me and him did a tour up in Nova Scotia, and we was driving down to Jay's house, and we always have like a playlist. So before we leave, we listen to Panama. And we were listening to Panama, and we're saying like, Panama! All of a sudden, a full-blown moose gallops. Like you ever seen Jurassic Park and the Tyrannosaurus
Yeah.
just staring you in the eye, and it's just that pupil just hitting? That's what the moose looked like.
Really?
And it was bigger than my car. I never sped up so fast in my life. We like I was going like, it was 20. I was going like 80 after that.
Right. I bet. How about Alicia Edwards?
Alicia
Have you been on any
Edwards.
shows with Alicia?
I hung out with Alicia with her husband
Eddie.
because Eddie knew DC.
Right.
So before Eddie used to do,
yes.
Eddie used to do go to like travel a lot. There was a time period he used to always hang out with DC. It was him,
Right.
Maddie, Dino, and all them.
Yeah. George Carroll.
Oh, George Carroll is a man.
Yes, he is.
I'm happy he's doing great things with New Japan.
Yes. Oh, I think he's working for MLW now too.
Oh, good.
So yeah,
All right.
George Great. I actually saw him over the weekend. Gave me some advice. George, thank you. I always listen to George's advice because I know he's gonna give me nothing but good advice. Lizzie Reyes.
Wow. I used to work with her.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
At the White Horse. She got me a job there. She's a great woman. There was so many stories at the bars. It was like, this nothing competes like wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's mostly like college, like downtown Commonwealth.
Right.
You always get the fake IDs. Like,
Yep.
I'm 21 and it says like, I'll never forget this one. There was a dude who had a Arizona ID. In Arizona, people don't know, they expire in like 60 years.
How many?
60.
You can get an idea in the last 60 years.
Yeah, this is like 2000, like something.
What?
Yeah. So, best part is this kid had it, and it said void. So I was
Yep.
like, all right, dude, this ain't real. Yeah, it is. I'm like, it's not. I was like, well, how do you know it's real? Because it said void. There's a hole in it, and the date says 2020. I was like,
Wow. That's nuts. That really is. How about Evan Six?
Evan Six is, I have no issues with him. He's a great dude.
Yep.
He's a great dude. He trained me how to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
And taught me a lot. Like even see him here and there, he'll be like, "This is what you're still doing. You gotta be more animated."
Yeah.
So for me, like people had like a bad stick on him, but he did nothing wrong with me. He's
Right.
good to me. Good to me.
Right.
So I have nothing but good things with him.
Yeah.
So
It's funny because I seen him throw a punch at a show. I want to say it was either Matty Almeida, Ryan Matthews.
was it a VCW show?
It might have been, and he threw this punch, and I swear to God,
does
and
that
I
mean?
know wrestling works, and I thought he killed him. I thought he hit him so hard.
Was it in Rockland?
It definitely wasn't in Rockland, no.
Oh, because there was another punch. But that was
But
pretty funny.
honestly, though, I swear, and I know how wrestling works, and I literally was like, whoa, it was amazing. I've never seen anything like
He-
it. Honestly,
he
at a
can-
show live where they fooled me. 100%.
That's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. Evan's great. He's been on here before. I'd like to get him back on again. So, Evan, please, I'm going to send you some dates. How about, you brought him up earlier, Bam Shaw.
Bam.
He doesn't get brought up that a lot here.
He is another big dude that is so mobile.
Right.
And taught me a lot during like the big time shows. Like I worked him a few times and I had a blast. A blast with him.
Right.
Like being big in the indies is like, oh, you can't do much. But being big, you can do so much more.
Right.
I had a blast with him. I had one match up in Maine and another match up in Sheldon Gober's promotion.
Oh, NECW.
NECW, yes.
Okay. Nice.
He had a fun match, great guy.
Yep.
Like I hung out with him outside of work. I used to bounce with him.
Right.
So we used to have stories. Like there was a time he looked at me. He was like, there was a dude who was like, you know, you have those muscle heads. He was like, I'm gonna punch you in the face. I'm looking. I'm like, why?
Right.
Like you're drunk. Go home.
How about Alec Price?
Alec Price.
Price.
He is. He's a gem.
Working, man.
He's
working hard.
He is, and that's
no
what
doubt.
every young kid should do.
Yes.
He has a mission. He wants to fulfill it.
300%.
Oh, totally.
Kid is working his way up the ladder. Ryan Andrews. I brought up the other guys from that area. Ryan is part of Elkamania.
He's good, dude.
Yeah.
He's him. If you know Ryan Andrews, he's him.
Right.
In a nutshell, he's a great dude.
All right. Antonio Tedasio.
Good dude.
Yeah? You worked him already?
I have not.
No.
I want to.
Yep. Nice. He'll be when he comes on, he'll be the second masked wrestler I've had on the show.
Oh, the tuna?
Yeah.
I worked him.
Yeah.
Like I know him as Steve the Tuna.
Ah.
So it threw me off. I'm like, I don't know.
That's wrestling name.
Yeah, see, you're throwing me off. I don't like it.
Ty Shine.
Great dude. Worked him at the 6-man battle. I want to work him one-on-one.
Nice. How about Vinny Russo?
But he's good. I want
Yeah.
to work him. I'll work him again. I knew him for years.
Pierre Vachon.
I never worked him. I want
No.
to try. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. It was like, I want
Right.
to try it once.
How about Eric Johnson?
We're tag partners.
Really?
Yeah, we are tag
Okay.
partners at Let's Wrestle. We are the Stigma. I just recently got pictures, and we're having fun.
Who'd you guys face on the last time you guys teamed up?
The Dirty Drifters, and they actually they beat us. One of the drifters tripped me, and I ate the floor. It kind of sucked.
Bobby Ocean.
Great dude. Great dude. I love him to death. He's a brother to me.
Nice. Besides the guys that you've, trained with and stuff, is there anybody that, has given you advice that you'll never forget? Some of them, you might have been on the show with them a couple times, but you never worked them, but they came over, or you asked them to watch your match or something. Is there anybody?
Smooth.
Trey.
Yep, Trey.
Nice.
He's been doing
Good
a lot of
choice.
He's been doing a lot of shows at Big Time. So
Yep.
I'm not Big Time, Bell Time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Smooth.
Pick
Can you,
his
like, can you
brain,
watch,
man.
Can you watch me? He's like,
Yes.
he does. He watch.
Yeah?
I'll watch my match. He just sits there like a teacher, and I'm like, yeah. He's like Coach Carter. I love every moment of this.
Now, he just went in the Hall of Fame,
He
too,
did,
and it was
and
amazing. I
congratulations,
loved
brother.
his speech. He was inducted by his kids, which I thought was phenomenal. And that he's the second Trey in this house. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, because his son was named Trey before he was born, before he took on the name Trey as the wrestler. So It's kind of funny.
Awesome.
I love the story.
That's
told.
awesome, actually. That's really awesome.
How about Dan DeMann? Last time I brought his name up,
man.
I don't know if you remember, but Alec Price said something. So please don't say
I'm
what
not-
he said. You know what I'm talking about.
Price is a youngin'. I already got the conversation with Daddy Bo. He's like, don't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
So, no, Dan
That's
the man's a
funny.
great dude.
Yeah. Nice.
He has to get the gab.
Right.
I saw him at Troop Show last month. He was talking. People hate him.
Nice.
Just talking.
Yep.
I'm like, I wish I could do that.
Let's. We got a little over a minute and a half to go. You want to get any shows coming up that you'd like to plug?
Yes, I am going to VCW in Nova Scotia at Doolittle's. Then I'm going to a couple other ones. I forgot their names. There's just so many dates. I'm doing Let's Wrestle Nuts months. It's been so hectic for this month because of life. But next month is going to be Let's Wrestle, that, couple other more shows.
Yeah.
I think another belt time one is like a week before. I'm doing Fenway and
Are you doing the show next week with Pat Dillon?
no.
No? Okay, 'cause I was going to say, I'm heading up to that show.
If I have time,
Yeah.
because I'm going to Michigan that day.
Right.
I don't know what time we're going. If I
Right.
can, if it's like before like 1, I would try to swing by.
Nice.
Just because it's Pat and I just want to say hi.
I just want to touch up real quick again about the Bruins, man. I'm a huge hockey fan. Unbelievable. Game 7, Wednesday night.
Maybe I better win.
Tuukka Rask has been the best goalie in the world. I was his biggest naysayer, and I'm going to tell you right now, this guy is playing better than any goalie I've ever seen, and I've been watching hockey a long time. Tim Thomas had a great season when we won the Cup, but Tuukka's season is right there with him. These playoffs has been amazing.
I love hockey, and a lot of people are like, what? I'm like, I started watching hockey when I was in college, and,
Right.
I started watching, so you got to forgive me watching like hockey,
Right.
because I grew up watching football and played basketball, but I really didn't watch basketball. Started watching hockey, fell in love with the Bruins, fell in love with them all the
Nice.
time.
All right.
I was always mad when it was always in the playoffs before after the championship. It was like, they beat us.
Brandon, thanks for coming
Thank you
on, dude.
so
We'll do
much.
this again. Guys, we're out. Peace.
Thank you.